Hey, I just want to give you some encouragement today because sometimes it can be discouraging when you're trying to switch into a tech career. And the truth is that when you give up, you're done. That's it. So I want to encourage you to not give up. And I want to do that by just telling you a little bit about my life. So if you don't know anything about me, I'm a guy who's married. I have 6 kids. I have 3 grandkids now. And I work a tech job every single day, and I've had this job for a few years. I've been in and out of jobs. I've been in contracts. I've been in pro bono type projects that I've created for others. I've done discount work for churches, for missionaries, probably missionaries you've heard of, and all that. I say all that not to either boast or I say it actually the opposite. I say it to tell you I'm just kind of a regular guy. And sometimes when we're looking for a new opportunity or trying to change into something new or do something new, we get a little bit discouraged because we think everyone else is up here and we're down here. And we have to try to get up there as a person. The truth is that you can get up there, but nobody's up here. There are people with skills up here in certain areas, but then other areas they're down here. You are probably just comparing your worst skill or your lowest skill to someone's highest skill. Sometimes in the tech world, we negate and look down on ourselves when we do not have certain technical skills, and we just look at soft skills as very useless or not worth any money to companies. But the truth is, in organizations, we need technical and soft skills, and people who are generalists and people who are specialists. I am more of a generalist who learned how to code. I mean, day to day, I care a lot about how our app looks, how it operates, how the users perceive it. But my real job I get paid for is to write code. And I learned that by, reading books and taking courses eventually, but originally just books is how I learned. And then I studied the documentation and then got projects and got some jobs to really learn it. So, when I was struggling to get into the field, it didn't feel like a struggle because my expectation was I didn't look at these people because I actually didn't know about that world. I simply just did my best from where I was, and I just released a episode about this, and I just did my very best and followed what seemed to make sense to me, and what seemed to bring me a little bit of joy. And for me, that was solving problems and putting things in, putting websites or apps in places where people could see them and use them. That was exciting to me, to create tools for people to use. So when my family was younger, when the kids were little, and when I was struggling to make ends meet, someone offered me, Jason was his name, he said, you should go down and interview for a company. And this was a time in my life where I was working Starbucks, I was doing violin lessons, I was doing work for church, I was doing real estate sales, I was doing real estate teaching. Actually, that had just ended. I was doing insurance. Did I mention that already? I was doing all these things, very part-time in all of them. And I interviewed for a job to build websites for a company, and that income was greater than all the income of all those other things combined. So I was able to simplify in tech, and maybe that's what you're really looking for in tech, is to stop doing all the kind of dead-end jobs or jobs that just aren't realizing the income or the freedom that you need, and just get your foot in the door. That is so precious. It was so precious to my family for me to be able to be around and do a 9 to 5 at that point. Even though many people want to get out of a 9 to 5, that's what they want to do. But the truth is, unless you're given a ton of money, or you're probably not watching this if you're you're this type of person who can just create a company out of nothing and do that. If you're like me and you're down here in your mind, you're down here and everyone else is up here, there's hope for you. Look at your background, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you like, and then look at the IT or tech world and say, how can I apply that to there? But I know what it's like to be in a ton of debt. I know what it's like to need help from parents. It's good to have parents when you need help from them. I'm thankful for my parents and my parents-in-law, my wife's parents, very helpful to me. But you want to make it on your own. And if you're a guy watching this, and you're like head of a household or you're a dad, you really want to do a good job for your family. If you're a wife, you're watching this and you want to do some side income or even a full-time job in tech or IT, you're probably doing it to help provide for your family. I get that. So I generally tend to help people who are, they're under stress and under pressure to make enough money for their family and to have a decent job in tech. And so I'd love to put out more content like this. If you like it, if it's encouraging to you, would you just subscribe and like it? And that'll help me understand what you want. So have a great day. I hope that's encouraging. I should have a link in the bottom to some other videos, or check out the rest of the channel. And I'm back to fixing bugs in code now. So have a good one.